Okay, mate, let's start at Villa Park, the game today. Unai Emery called it a Champions League playoff game with, fourth place guaranteed a Champions League spot. Possible fifth place, could get one this year, but you can't sort of rely on that. So it was an interesting game for both teams. Villa not quite been at the best, with poor midweek against Chelsea. Manchester United come off a good win against West Ham, starting to feel like it's coming together. Did this play out like you thought, Rob, or were United any better or worse than you might have thought?
I think it probably played out like I thought it was going to play out. I thought the best chance would have been for a draw, and it looked like it was going to be a draw. And then, of course, Manchester United get the winning goal with Scott McTominay as well. I think given we weren't quite sure how Villa were going to go, because we both watched the game on Wednesday, and I couldn't have been more disappointed with Aston Villa against Chelsea.
Didn't look like them, did it?
It was incredible. It just didn't look like them at Villa Park. And I'm thinking, if they show up like that, they're going to lose the game. Well, they didn't show up like that. They still lost.
No.
We'll get into whether they deserve to lose or, et cetera, et cetera. But it was Aston Villa that we've enjoyed this season, Rob. The intensity, the football, some of the play through midfield that Man United struggled to keep hold of. And created, we have the stats after the game, and all the stats. And I know it's not about the stats, it's about the stat at the top, the goals. Yeah. But Villa created a lot. They created a lot. Another day, I think they would have scored 3 or 4 goals. Some of the chances. Andre Onana had a really good game. And you could see when that second goal went in from Scott McTominay, Unai Emery, Rob, devastated. Really devastated, because I think he thought they could go on and win the game at 1-1. They had Luiz had another chance, Douglas Luiz, didn't he? He didn't really get with his left foot. I really enjoyed the game. I thought Villa were really good. It's just a couple of moments for Manchester United. And again, Erik ten Hag's made good subs. Yeah. And McTominay, that's 4 goals of his 7
off the bench.
Off the bench. The result against who was it last weekend? Against West Ham United.
West Ham, they beat West Ham 3-0.
Really expansive, really
good football.
Really, this was very different, and they were forced to play in a different way, which is good. When you can win games in different ways, front foot or playing on the counter, which they did today, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm of that thinking. And listen, when criticism is right, I think we'll criticise. I think today is a little bit more about the detail and the way the game went for Manchester United. But I always remember, maybe a month or so ago, you talked about Ten Hag and said, when Klopp went in at Liverpool, it was about progression, but making sure that the club's moving forward. Now, I always think it's the environment around a football club, Rob, whether it's the training ground, the dressing room, the coach going home, if you've won, it feels a lot better. And Manchester United have won. So that's the first thing. It's 3 points, close the gap on Villa and Spurs, and they give themselves a chance of a Champions League spot right now as things stand. But I think the takeaway would be also, as a coach and as somebody who would read the game like Ten Hag, is that Aston Villa, you're right, had 23 shots. 10 of those on target. Now, on another day, that's a lot of shots to be conceding on target. And Onana had a good day. There was some good defensive performances. I thought Harry Maguire was in good places and defended when he had to. Darlow had a good game. But what's happening with Manchester United is they're not controlling games enough and managing the opposition. So those chances. Now, if that's a better team maybe than Villa, a more informed Aston Villa, Villa scored 3 goals today. Now, and you lose 3-1 or 3-2. So that's a progression, but well done to Erik ten Hag for the sub. Well done for the win. Now are you going to make sure you're doing the work in the week so that they get better on the game management?
And defensive side of it. So we're talking defensive side. So their attacking play, I think we enjoy that, and they're really good. But if they're forced to play on a counter, they've got to be stronger defensively. Just a couple of players, Rob, and it wasn't great. It wasn't... Bruno Fernandes, a couple of defensive moments where he's coming back and making clearances and making interceptions and making blocks and fist pumping everybody else. I love to see that from the talented players, and that has been better of Manchester United. I'd like to see a little bit more of it from Marcus Rashford in particular. But I think in general they're trying to protect more of that back four. Lisandro Martinez being out injured is such a blow, because I think he's a really good defender that would have made a difference today.
Correct.
They won the game, by the way, but they wouldn't have. I don't think the numbers of shots on target would have been the same with him involved. Just going back to your progression, Rob, now the players are fit again, most of them for United. Only Mason Mount, really, that you might consider to enhance.
Martinez now, obviously.
And Lisandro Martinez, of course. It was really important that we go back to the progression argument. And when he's got a ton of injuries, okay, he gets a little bit of a pass on that, and it hasn't been great.
Yeah.
But now, between now and the end of the season, do you think we're going to see this, Rob? Is Man United going to become more durable? Is he going to do the work on the training ground to make them look more tight? Correct. More tight defensively, because counter-attacking teams have to look strong, really strong at the back.
And they didn't at times today, and they got away with it. It was bad finishing, it was bad decision-making at times, not good goalkeeping and on. I thought I had a game that looked sharp. But you're right, and that is the question, and that will be, and we talked on the goal zone after the game where, there's a lot of change happening at this football club, and everything's being scrutinised, including the head coach's role.
Yeah.
He's in pole position. If there's development, Rob, if he's doing that work, if we start to see a progression, he's in pole position.
Yeah.
It's his shirt to lose.
Do you think that if we don't see that as good as we both want to see it, he's under that much danger? If they finish 5th, for example, right? Look at the league table now, they're 6th.
5th, but if we got in Champions League, I think he'd be okay. 5th, depending how far they are, we'd be okay. What I think we need to have, Robin, and I think it's like 5 games now unbeaten all competition, 3 straight Premier League wins, and sort of, not bad numbers. Not bad numbers, but Man City's go 15, 20 games. Liverpool go 15. Manchester United have to start to get to 10, 12 games unbeaten. Yeah. So we see some consistency. So on not great days, they get a draw and we come back, and on good days we win. But not the kind of win a game, draw a game, lose a game. I don't think that is going to be enough to kind of maybe secure his job.
That's what we've got to see eradicated.
Yeah.
My first top note on this game going into the game in terms of my prep notes was no more Jekyll and Hyde. They must find consistency. Yeah. Now, today's a win. So I almost feel like that's better.
Yeah.
With the knowledge that.
Let me chuck one at you then, from like a head coach point of view. A win today, and maybe today is not quite the example, but a win when lots of things haven't gone well, but you've won, or a day when you're a little unlucky, you've controlled more of the game, and you end up drawing or losing. With this group of players, is winning more important than the other things?
It's a good question. It's a good question, and I almost want to say I want to see the football. No, I know. Listen, that seems crazy.
Do you think the wins will come after?
Yeah, I do. For me, it's more important to see the development on the football side.
So better control, more possession,
more of what
unified team. If we're dropping or we're pushing, and
I want to see a higher line. Quite honestly, a higher line means the team's more compact. It's going to get them on the front foot a lot better. They can control possession a little bit more and force teams back. That's hard to do at Villa Park with this current Aston Villa side, but I'd see that. Listen, it's tough to say. It's always tough to argue against results, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm of
so
course
it's a bit
very
of a
careful
balance
to do
probably,
that. It is, but it would be important for me as a analyst of it, or if I was a Man United fan, I want to see football improving as well. And I think we said it at the last couple of podcasts, Rob. I think we've seen that a little bit with Garnacho, with Bruno, with Marcus Rashford, with Rasmus Højlund. I'm starting to see that looks pretty good.
Yeah, Garnacho's.
So
talent,
I think right now, Rob, you can sit here. I think we're agreed. Better, like the way the attack is, like Mainoo's continued involvement in the team.
Absolutely.
Dalot. I think Diogo Dalot, for me, deserves a mention. Not just the crossing today. There's a couple of times that we looked at each other and we made blocks and slide tackles. Well done defensively. So they're on the right path, but let's just wait over the next few weeks. Can they grow on it, build on it, and become a consistent team?
Yeah, just a little worry. Luke Shaw again picks up a niggle and thing. I'd just like to see him play a run of games because he's such a good player and so important to them, Rob.
Do you want to have a quick line on Villa?
Let's turn it on Villa, because obviously really poor in the FA Cup this week, and then I just thought we won't get two of those performances in Unai Emery team. It's just as now he works. I thought they were better. I thought at times there you could see that they work the ball, get into midfield, into McGinn, into Ramsey, they get turned. Really down good. That left-hand side, it was good. Moreno really good. Coming in, Watkins down that side. I mean, better finishing, Watkins has 2 or 3 today. So in terms of like the opposite side, they lost, but some of their football was really good, wasn't it? And whether they can just lost a little bit of sparkle at the top end of the pitch. If they can find that again, Rob, the football's still there and everything else is not too far away.
It's not too far away, Rob. They're 5th place, by the way. They're
Yeah,
5th place in the Premier League. They played a performance like today. I'm sure the fans appreciated the way they played today. Listen, nobody wants to lose at home. And I hope the manager appreciated the performance level. I'm sure he would have done. And they should be praised for how they played. They stretched Man United so many times, particularly they played through United's midfield many times. And McGinn in there. I thought Ramsey was really good. Jacob Ramsey playing in that spot as well. Bailey was lively early on. It looks good. It looks good. So I know Villa fans will be disappointed, but all our stats, they were pretty good stats. Expected goals, everything, they were kind of ahead of Manchester United. And another day, they could have scored more and maybe got the victory. But Villa is still a good story.
Still in for a Champions League.
Absolutely
but, European football, a game will be brilliant for them.
And what are they now, Rob? They're still 6 points ahead, aren't they? Have I got the right table here? They're 6 points ahead of Manchester. No, 5 points
ahead, and Spurs are 6 points ahead.
Yeah.
So, you're still, still a few points to turn around. So, not a bad day for Villa, but good win for Manchester United and Scott McTominay with the late winner.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.